brings us to a segment called
CinemaWAR.
And the war, it works like this. Me and Matt, we're fighting on a topic. And our guest this week, Nick Quah, gets to play judge, jury, and executioner and tell the jawheads at home who he thinks won this cinema war. And it's important because we're vying for some jaw time to rant and rave on whatever we want. Keanu Reeves is in his 50s. So is Tom Cruise. Heck, Phil, tell the jawheads at home what today's cinema war topic is.
Yes, today's cinema war topic. Who is the better action star in their 50s? Keanu Reeves or Tom Cruise? Rye, you've got the man of the month, Keanu. And Matt, you'll be fighting for the Cruise. Let this cinema war get over the hill.
Whoa. Tom Cruise, the guy who has to stand on an apple box to be in frame, the guy who has old jokes thrown at him left and right in the last Mission Impossible movie, better than our man of the month, Keanu Reeves? No chance. Cruise looks out of gas in his 50s. Keanu, however, honestly, looks like he's hitting his stride with the John Wick films. Much more believable, Matt.
That's interesting. We'll get back to that point. But comparing Tom Cruise to Keanu Reeves is downright laughable. Even strictly speaking, later career action, Cruise does donuts on a motorcycle around Reeves. Just in the last 10 years, since he turned 46, Rye, he's done Night and Day, Oblivion, Edge of Tomorrow, The Mummy, American Made, 2 Jack Reacher films, and 3 Mission Impossibles. And next year, he's reprising his role as Maverick in Top Gun. Top Gun, Ryan.
All right, I'm glad you brought up the Mummy because Tom Cruise ruined Universal's shot at the monster universe they were trying to create when he insisted in starring in The Mummy. The film clearly did not work because the main reason why Tom Cruise was miscast because he was too old for the part.
Who cares? I'm not saying that...
I care.
Look, I'm not saying that Keanu doesn't do his own fight scenes and get on wires and stuff, but Tom Cruise's annual Mission Impossible stunts have become an institution unto themselves. Hanging from his fingers over a cliff, scaling a building in Dubai, hanging onto a plane while it's taking off, or skydiving out of a freaking spaceship. That's really him up there at 56 years old.
The thing is with Keanu, if you look at his career, he was slowly building as an action star, went away from it, and then came back with something like 47 Ronin, which was not a great movie, still cool to look at, got some action scenes. And then comes John Wick, his most action series to date. His hand-to-hand combat scenes are insane. The entire world of John Wick is scared of this man. They don't look at him and think he's in his 50s. They run away from Mr. Wick.
His best action franchise to date, man. Hello, The Matrix. And let's be honest here. Keanu is hiding a double chin under that John Wick beard. And you can see it in a few scenes. Cruise is just in better shape, like I mentioned at the top. That's because I don't think he's human, frankly. He may just be a machine, an action star machine.
All right, last point here. When I watch Mission Impossible movies, and I know Nick feels the same here, I feel like I'm watching Tom Cruise. I don't even think of him as a different character, Ethan Hunt. Not at all. When I watch John Wick, I feel like I'm watching some guy named John Wick. Credit that to Keanu. For a guy who's going to be 55 this year, he is still one badass. Don't believe me? Walk into a room with him and a number 2 pencil.
I still see Ted from Bill and Ted. Hey, if this was about who was the better person, I'd give it to Reeves. The better actor? That's not what this is about. This is about who is the better action star in their 50s. Cruise is bankable, he's fearless, and for some damn reason, he is still box office gold. This isn't Mission Impossible for our judge to decide, so go Jack Reacher yourself, Ryan. This contest is as clear as night and day.
Wow. Buttonheads here on CinemaWAR as we do each and every week. Nick, what did you think of this CinemaWAR?
This is incredibly hard for me because I really, really love both actors. I really, really love the sort of action movie oeuvre of both actors, but it's definitely Tom Cruise. Like, it's 100% Tom Cruise.
Of course it is.
I give more credit to the billionaire that's trying to kill himself to make us happy. Like, and Tom Cruise is, I think, a little bit more versatile in the sense because he is just Tom Cruise. Like, you can fit him into any setting and into any sort of action milieu, and it'll make a ton of sense. I don't think that's necessarily true with Keanu Reeves. Like he is still very much an actor, like operating as an actor. Whereas Tom Cruise is a guy who like jumps into stuff that blows up. Like Edge of Tomorrow, I love it. The Mission Impossible movies, he gets better like with every sequel and every iteration. And it's always a sense of every next action movie that Tom Cruise does is bigger and better than the last thing, which is not necessarily the case with Keanu Reeves' action movies, because they seem to be more like designer artisanal action movies, which are cool, but not exactly something that I would like give a ton of like, a ton of just, credit for, to be perfectly frank. So I'm going to go Tom Cruise.
It burns me to say this, Matt, but you win this Cinema War.
Thank you.